So a few years back, I decided to spend a year studying in Israel, in the old city of Jerusalem. And I remember when we landed in the airport, in Ben Gurion Airport, we had this huge group of people. We all got together. We started dancing. It was loud. I didn't know anyone. And we all kind of got together, and they took us to a bus. And from the airport, we took this bus to the old city of Jerusalem. We got there to the outside of the gate. The buses are kind of too big to go inside, really. So we went to the outside, and they dropped us off. We all lugged all of our suitcases off the bus. The things in these suitcases were supposed to last us for an entire year. So we took our suitcases, some of us 2 or 3 suitcases, big suitcases, took them off the bus, and we started making our way up a hill. And it was a hot August day, and we're walking up this huge hill, trying to schlep all these bags up. And finally, we get to the top of the hill. We get to the gate of the old city. It's a giant stone structure, and we were told that this is the gate. This is the entrance to walk into the old city of Jerusalem, into the Jewish quarter. We walk into the gate, and immediately you see the cobblestones on the floor. These amazing cobblestones that have been there for probably thousands of years. And we walk in and we start trying to drag our American suitcases on these cobblestone floors, and you can imagine the wheels kind of keep getting stuck, and it was just a bit of a mess. And we keep walking, and we're walking closer and closer to our dorms where we're going to be staying for the next year. And we passed the markets, we passed the restaurants, we passed all these different ethnic-looking things that none of us really understood. And it really felt like we were walking for an hour, but in truth, we probably were walking for about 10 minutes until we finally get to our dorms. And we go in, and they tell us all where we're staying, and we all spend the rest of the day unpacking, and it was great. We all had our own rooms. We had 2 roommates that we were told were going to be coming in a couple of days, but they hadn't come yet, and everything was fantastic. And then before you know it, 1 day passes, and 2 day passes, and we were all settled in our rooms, and then finally the Israelis come. And now all of us were Americans or Canadians, and we were all settled in our rooms already, and these people from an entirely different culture come join us, and we're told that every room was 1 American or Canadian and 2 Israelis, and we're told that every single American or Canadian person will have 2 Israelis with them. So my roommates come. One of them didn't speak at all. One of them spoke a little bit. He tried to speak English, but he didn't really. He tried to speak English, and I remember thinking to myself, what am I going to do with these people the whole year? I can't even have a conversation with them. I can't connect with them on anything. We have nothing in common. And I was actually so intimidated that I was thinking of changing programs to be with less Israelis, to be in a more American environment. But I kind of stuck with it, and I started setting up chavrutas, learning partners with other Israelis. And I remember at the beginning, when I would have these chavrutas, this learning partnership with other Israelis, I remember thinking to myself that I have nothing in common with them. I'm American, they're Israeli. Our culture is so incredibly different. How am I supposed to connect with these people? And throughout the year, I kind of ended up developing these amazing friendships and these amazing relationships with these people who, in any other given context, I probably would have had nothing to do with them. And what I really ultimately realized was that there was one thing that connected us, and it was the Torah that we learned together. And at the end of the year, I kind of reflected on this, and I realized a bunch of different things. One was that I completely misjudged them. And I used this opportunity to again teach myself that I can't judge a book by its cover. That seeing these Israelis at the beginning, knowing they didn't speak the same language as me and I had nothing in common with them, completely shifted my perception of my ability to be friends with them. But then once I sat down with them and kind of forced myself to connect with them, everything changed. And so one thing that I learned was not to judge a book by its cover. The other important thing, was that I realized that no matter what, one Jew could always connect to another Jew, because we all share the same heritage. So if you're an American Jew, if you're a Canadian Jew, if you're a Polish Jew, if you're a French Jew, if you're an English Jew, if you're an Australian Jew, if you're a Venezuelan Jew, anywhere in the world, if you're a Jew, you can connect to any other Jew. And what I ultimately realized was that there was one thing that always will bring us together: our common heritage, but more specifically, the text, the Torah. That text that's thousands of years old, that will always connect us. The stories and the teachings of our forefathers, that will ultimately all bring us together.